Welcome to episode 73 of Pera's Playbook. Today I'm joined by Brenna Young of the Thomas More University women's volleyball team. Brenna, how's it going? Thanks for joining me.
It's good. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Tomorrow's Friday. That's always a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Need the weekend just to like
Mm-hmm.
sleep in a little and catch up.
I feel that.
Yeah. I didn't mention either. This is episode 73. I don't think I said that. So episode 73, we're back on volleyball. It's been a while since we've had a volleyball guest on, or at least a little while. So good to kind of mix up the sports. And speaking of that, when did you start playing volleyball? How old were you?
It was probably 10 years ago, so around when I was 9. I started like through my elementary school. I did the little intramural, like fifth grade volleyball, and then I took a liking into it. So when I went into middle school, my mom put me into club, and she started off with like, the smaller, like cheaper club just to see if I liked it. And then from there on, the love and passion just went on.
So with club, is that something that you continued then through like all of high school?
Yeah. I went through sixth grade through all the way to my senior year of high school. I played club.
You think that's pretty standard? Like looking at like other girls that on your college team or other college teams that they all started club early and then did it the whole time?
Yeah, I think a lot of like your big college athletes, they do start club early, but they're definitely, since volleyball, it's such a growing sport, you can get better in a span of like 1 year compared to like other sports. So they definitely a lot start early, but that's not like a setback if you don't start early.
Are there any girls on your team that didn't play club at all? They only played high school, or did everyone play club at least like while they were in high school?
I think there's one girl who I think she played club for a little bit, but then like as she got into high school, like she stopped playing because she was a dual sport athlete in college, or not college, high school. So she just like, since it was so expensive, she was like, I'm not playing club. Like I'm just gonna stick to volleyball and basketball. So, but I think only one girl on our
Okay.
team.
So it's not like you have to do it, but pretty
Yeah.
much almost everybody does.
Yeah. 100%.
So when did your recruitment start?
I started like sending out emails my freshman year, which my recruitment was when they had the whole thing of they can't start talking to you until like your junior year. So I was just like sending out emails my freshman year and sophomore year, and it was just like it was kind of hard because it was like you're not getting a response back since they can't talk to you, but it was just nice to get your name out there and so like other colleges. And sometimes they would respond and be like, we already have like recruitment, like whatever. But it was just nice to get like my name out there. So I started my freshman year and continued through the beginning of my senior year.
Did you play other sports throughout high school?
Not throughout high school, but like all the way up till middle school, I played mainly volleyball and basketball. But I had to stop for high school because I wanted to do club for volleyball.
Okay, so you made the commitment to volleyball. You knew that's what you
Yeah.
wanted to continue doing.
Yeah. hmm
Okay, gotcha. So at what point did like, would you say your recruiting kind of took off and like, was it like as soon as you hit your junior year, teams started to contact you, or was it a little bit later? I mean, when did it really start to kind of take off?
I think junior year, like I started getting responses back, but I don't think a lot of programs took interest until like middle of my junior year. So that's when I started going to like a bunch of these different camps and then like prospect camps, going on tours and all of that. But then like the middle of my junior year to beginning of my senior years when it really took off.
And what was like the final like nail in the, decision for you? Like this is where I want to go, and what was I guess the
Mhm.
reasoning behind that? What really sold it for you?
Yeah, I had been talking to my coach Holly for a little over a while, and then she invited me on a tour right before my senior year. And I think that's just like being on the campus and seeing the environment. And then I went to one of the games as well, and just like seeing the environment that I was going to be in the future, it was just like the setting stone for me, which I was just like, this is where I want to be. It's not too far from where I lived at the time. So it was just a nice place, and it's near my brother. So it was like, that was the setting stones.
So was it an easy decision, or were there other colleges that you like had in your top three or top five or whatever that you had considered, or was it just like, boom, I know I want to go here for sure, and easy decision, no thought?
Yeah, I had one other school that I was looking at, and I was deciding between the two, but overall, like the location of this school was just 10 times better. And I was like, I can see myself being here in the future. Whereas the other one, I was like, oh, I don't really know. But this one I was like, I can really see myself being here.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So year one, you played 19 sets in 11 matches. Was it hard to adjust to college volleyball, compared to high school and club?
Mhm. Yeah, it was a little bit rough, but I will say my high school coach, she was very hard on me in the best of ways. So she was always like, you're going to college, you're going from being a big fish in a small pond to small fish in a big pond. She was like, you just have to keep that in mind. So I think she did a very good job of keeping me like mentally there, like knowing what I'm getting into mentally. But I think just the speed of the game, that's what I struggled with at the start, like just to like pick it up a little faster. But I think mentally I was very well prepared of coming in.
What about the school side of college? Any hard adjustments there with like the complete change in workload and like time management and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think I definitely like struggled with time management because I was like, yes, you don't have like 7 classes a day, but it's like I'd be like, oh, I have time later, and then like later would come, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, why did I put this off? But I think time management, and then just since we have volleyball in the fall, it was kind of hard because you just go straight into like practices every day, games during the week, traveling, missing class. So it was kind of a lot at first, but I'm kind of grateful for it to have it all at first because it really just like made me like set my things in stone and just be like, I need to get stuff done when I can, just so I don't put it off.
Yeah, you didn't have like time to like dilly dally and figure
Yeah.
it out. It was just kind of
Mhm.
baptism by fire.
Yeah.
We first, did you have a match the first week of school or?
I don't think I think we had it like the first weekend of school. I don't think we had one the first week of school, but like the second week of school, I think I had to miss my chemistry class and I was like, this is awful. This is the one class I can't miss. I was like, this
Yeah.
is so bad.
Yeah, like I've been here, 2 or 3 times or whatever, and I've
Yeah.
already got to miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that would be tough. I definitely would not envy that.
Yeah.
So year two, you ended up playing 85 sets in 24 matches. So a big,
Yeah.
I guess improvement in like the amount of time you're playing. Did you
Mhm.
expect that like going into the off season? Like I know I'm gonna get more
Mhm.
playing time, or going into the off season, did you kind of have the mindset like I need to grind a little bit so I can get more playing time?
Mhm. It was kind of a mixture of both because we had a senior my freshman year, we had a senior who was playing in the middle position where I play. So it was kind of like once she left, I was like, I know there's an opening that I can work for. I didn't have the mentality of like, oh, I know that's like my spot. Like I didn't want to be greedy and be like, oh, this is my I was like, I want to work to prove that
Mhm.
I can fill that spot and that I can produce for the team and like be a big impact starter.
Was it a hard like adjustment having to play more? Like your first year, you didn't play a ton, and then all of a sudden you're playing a lot more. So your body, your energy, all this stuff like throughout the season, you're not resting as much. You've got
Yeah.
to kind of get that whole new regimen. Was that difficult at all, or was it kind of like refreshing, kind of almost back to high school and club time?
I think it was a little bit difficult just on like the physical aspect because I got shin splints like the very beginning. So it's kind of like that was tough. But I think our coach did a very good job of like keeping us all conditioned to like play to the point where if one of us just randomly goes in and we play for the rest of the season, we would be good like cardio wise. So I think they did a very well job of just making sure that everybody was prepped to go in and like continue on the rest of the season if they needed to.
Yeah. It had to
Mhm.
be nice, or I guess I don't know if refreshing is the right word, but to like have that consistent
Mhm.
competitive like that you had in high school. You're playing games consistently more, and then you kind of have that break first year where you're not playing as consistent. Was it nice to just like always have that competition when you got to year two?
Yeah, because I've always been told I'm a competitive person because I come from a competitive family. So it was like the first year I was like, I expected this. I was like, I understand, like that's fine. But then this year I was like, I wanna be in, I wanna like win games and just like I love being on the court and I love like having the passion and being able to like play volleyball on the court.
Right. Like it's great to support your teammates, but you want to
Yeah.
be out there like doing
Yeah.
the, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is there a match that sticks out in your memory through your first 2 years of being like most memorable for some reason?
I think most memorable is probably when we played Tiffin at home this year, because that was our first like big D2 win. And it was just nice because they were a good team and it was just we all played together, we meshed. It was probably one of the best games we played as a team.
Yeah. So this past season, you guys had a tougher year, but you finished really strong. I mean, you finished 3-1. What was the difference like from the beginning and middle of the year to finishing so strong? I mean, was there something you guys changed, or was it just like, hey, we want to go out on a high note? I mean, what was the, I guess, what do you think the reason was that you finished so much stronger than the rest of the season?
I mean, I think like we did play like a little bit of easier teams, but you could definitely tell there was a difference in our team chemistry. It was just we were all meshing no matter if you were on the court, if you were off the court. It seemed like everybody was invested into the team win. And we were like, we know we had a hard transition into D2. Like we want to make sure that people don't underestimate us next year. So we were just kind of like, we want to push for these last few wins and we just want to prove to people that we should be a D2 team.
Right. And it's difficult transitioning, obviously
Yeah.
playing against teams that have been in D2. They've got the recruiting down and like they've got their kind of roots in there. So
Yeah.
transition years are always going to be hard, but when you can finish on a high note, it gives you something positive going into the next season. Like, hey, look at this. We finished well. We proved to
Yeah.
everybody that we can win. If you didn't go winless, you won matches, and a few of them, three nothing, so
Yeah.
they weren't all like super close, or they barely won it. I mean, you definitely proved something, and I
Hmm.
mean, there's growing pains. It's going to be like that, and
Yeah.
just go up from there.
Hmm.
Do you have a best memory so far at TMU? Just kind of overall. It doesn't have to be volleyball. It can be, but
I think honestly, just the nights we spend in the hotel, it seems like we all like that's where most of our team bonding occurs. And it's just like the way we all mesh together, like we all hang out. And there was last year when we played at conference, I was rooming with the two other middles, so like the one senior and another one, and they like played a prank on me and they put popcorn all over my bed, but it was just like it was funny at the time and I wasn't mad about it because I'm like that is funny and I was awake and I was like I'll just let them have their fun. I was like but it was just like a fun little bonding moment for the whole team.
so were you in the bed when they like threw the
Yeah, they
popcorn
like
on?
sprinkled popcorn all over me and I was trying so hard not to laugh since I was awake. And I was like, it's the seniors last year. And then they woke me up. They're like, we popped to you. And I was like, that's so funny. But it was just nice because we all bond really well together.
Yeah. Did they
Mhm.
think you were sleeping?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely did. They were like, she's sleeping. And I was like trying so hard not to laugh. I was like, I can't give it away. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin their prank and
Yeah.
burst their bubble.
Yeah.
So Costa Rica, was that a
Mhm.
volleyball trip down to Costa Rica, or was that just a friend's trip, or what was that family trip, or
It was through my high school. It wasn't volleyball. It was like a tour company put on a trip through our high school. So me and a couple of my friends signed up and we went and it was kind of nice because we went with no parents. So it was just like teachers from our school who were
Mhm.
chaperones. So it was really fun because I think that's the most time I've spent off my phone in like a week. Because the only time I was on my phone was to take a picture. And it was very nice because I could talk about it forever. It was just probably one of the best memories I've had. Because me and all the people we went with were all great friends now. And even the two teachers we went with, me and my friends, we call them like our second moms because that whole trip just brought us all together. So it was really nice.
What was the best thing you did or saw down there?
I would probably have to say when we went to the waterfall and we got to like swim in the waterfall. And then we went to like this hot springs place and we all thought it was like the natural hot springs, like out in some land. But it was like a five-star resort and there were like 28 different hot springs. And we were like, what? Oh my gosh. And it was just so cool because it was low-key like being spoiled for a whole week.
Yeah. I had a
Mhm.
similar thing in high school. We didn't go anywhere tropical, but you could join our school's travel club, and then we like went with a tour company, and we went to England, Ireland, and Wales, and that was super fun.
Yeah.
Same thing, like teachers only, and then kids, and you have your like tour guide or whatever that's kind of taking you around, and that was definitely a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
was a cool opportunity for sure.
Hmm.
Makes me want to go back now that I'm older.
Yeah. Me and my friends, we always talk about it. We're like, we need to plan a trip back with the same people. We're like, we need to go again.
Yeah, right. But go on your own so you can do whatever you want now. Now that you've
Yeah.
been there once.
Yeah. Mhm.
So do you have like a travel bucket list, like any places around the world that you really want to go?
I really want to go to Greece just because it's just so pretty. It's like, I don't even know. I feel like I would be so happy there. And then I also want to go to Italy because two of our teammates, they're from Italy. So it would just be nice. Because we always joke, we're like, we're coming to see you in the summer. And they're like, go for it. And I'm like, I see.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
just
and then you want to
anything in
show up
Europe.
on their front door and be like, "We're
Yeah, I'm just
here."
like, hey, I'm here. You told me to come. So,
Yeah,
yes. And then
Greece.
anywhere in Europe. So,
Yeah, well, Europe, the nice thing is you can like do three
yeah.
countries in like one trip and just kind of hop around. Like train tickets or ferry tickets or whatever aren't like
Yeah.
crazy expensive and
Mhm.
so close. It's like traveling state to state.
Yeah. That's like my mom. I think she went there a little bit after her college, and she's always like, "Well, I went there and I went there." I'm like, "Okay, so when are you taking me?" I was like, "You have to take me a tour." I was
Yes,
like,
stop rubbing it in and buy the plane tickets,
"Yeah,
mom. Like,
exactly, exactly."
yeah. I don't know. I never understand the Greece thing. I have like no desire to ever go to Greece. Everyone says that. They're like, "Oh, I want to go to Greece so bad." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it's pretty." But like Italy, I totally get that. Like I want to go to
Yeah.
Italy. But I
Mhm.
don't get the Greece thing. Like the only reason I'd want to go to Greece is because Mamma Mia. Like that's it.
I know
That's
that's
all.
like part of my reasoning. I'm like, it's so pretty in Mamma Mia. Like I might as
Yeah.
well.
It
Yeah,
does look pretty in Mamma Mia. I mean, it
yeah,
really does. Fantastic movie. It's
100%.
So what is your favorite movie or TV show if you like prefer one over the other?
Probably one of my favorite movies is Step Brothers, just because I love a little comedy movie and I love Will Ferrell movies. And then a TV show, my TV show has always been Grey's Anatomy and probably always will be.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad to say I've never seen either of those. And I love comedy movies. I like love Will Ferrell. I
Uh,
love all, but I've never seen Step Brothers. I don't know why.
I love Step Brothers. It's
Never
so
seen
funny.
it. Yeah, I don't know. Will Ferrell's great. I mean, like,
Yeah.
can't think of a bad movie that he's in really,
I know. I
but
can't
I don't
think of
know.
anything.
I've just never seen it.
It's so good. You need to watch it because it's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to. People always talk about it, and I just like never
Yeah.
commit to actually watching it. I don't know.
Mhm.
And Grey's Anatomy, never watched that either.
Yeah. I know some people, they're like, oh, that's an overrated show. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's your opinion versus mine. But
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love The Big Bang Theory. There's a lot of people who say the same thing about
Yeah.
that. They say it's overrated or it's not that funny. I'm like, oh, cool, but I've watched it like 8 times, so I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know.
I've taken a liking into the Young Sheldon, like the spinoff of Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know that like that more, or they never even watched like
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory and they got into Young Sheldon. I don't know,
Mhm.
and I'm the opposite. I really didn't think Young Sheldon was that great. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I always like it always pops up on my TikTok and I always like catch myself. I'm like watching a whole episode. I'm like, might as well just watch it on like Netflix or something.
Yeah, and it's okay. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
I don't like that it's like it's a spin-off, it's like a pre-spin-off, so it's like obviously they're
Yeah.
kids, it's not the same actors or
Uh-huh.
anything. Like once in a while you get shows with a spin-off and then they like base it around one
Mhm.
character or whatever.
Yeah.
They usually don't last. Like I think there was
Mhm.
a Friends spin-off about Joey or something, but it only went
I
for
think
like a
so.
couple
I
of
never
years
really
or
took a liking into that one.
yeah. They usually they don't last. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
Mhm. Yeah.
What about hobbies? Like what do you like to do for fun if you're just hanging out?
Probably just hanging out with my friends. Me and my best friend that lives 10 minutes from here, we just honestly we catch ourselves just walking around the mall or just going to like parks and just kind of like being outside and just like stargazing and all that. But honestly, just spending times with friends and family. That's really all I do.
What's your favorite store at the mall?
I feel like I'm a little biased. I do love offline because I work there, but it's just like I've always loved their clothes and it's just like a nice casual or you could buy like nice clothes and with the discount it is pretty nice. But
Yeah, that helps. It definitely
yeah, like
does.
60% off, I'm like, okay,
Oh
like
wow, that's a
yeah,
nice discount.
I know. It's crazy. They're like, yeah, you get 10 things off for 60% off. I was like, all right, I'm definitely working here. I was like 1000%.
Yeah, I worked at like a sporting goods chain. I think it's just like a Midwest chain. It's
Mm.
called Dunham Sports. I don't know if they where like the cutoff is. Anyway, we only got like a 20% off discount
Oh
working
my.
there. It was like, and it was
Yeah.
only on certain things. They're like not on, and then there's a big list of like everything you'd probably want a discount for that like wasn't
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a bummer, but 60% off. That's nice.
Yeah.
Definitely makes
It's
it kind of worth it if you want to buy some
yeah.
stuff.
100%.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food would probably be chicken wings, just because I could eat those every day. And my family, we're a big like chicken wings family. So it's just, I don't know, something about them I just love eating.
Boneless or bone in?
I think it depends on where I'm at, because some places I feel like the boneless are better, but like if I'm at like B-dubs, it's like I'll usually get boneless just because we go on like BOGO nights, but I always love a good bone-in wing.
Yeah. What about flavor? Like, what's your sauce? What's your go-to?
Probably buffalo, or like if it's like a little mild buffalo, but I do love buffalo sauce. That's
So,
pretty
so
good.
you like a little kick to a little spice
Yeah,
in there?
100%.
Yeah. I've never been big into like spicy wings. My go-to is like if I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, they get teriyaki. Like teriyaki,
Yeah.
that's my go-to. And
Mhm.
that's like the perfect, or like other places, I mean, they call it like sweet Asian chili or like different.
Yeah.
That's always kind of been my go-to. I don't like barbecue. It's too bland. It's like there's not
Yeah.
enough flavor. And
Hmm.
I don't like buffalo because it's too spicy. And it's
Yeah,
not,
that's
I
like,
know it's not even that spicy, but
yeah, I usually get the mild, but my oldest brother, there's like times he gets like the hottest one. I'm like, how are you eating that and like not
not,
drinking or something?
yeah. You
He's like,
look
I don't
over
know
and
how
his glass of water's full to the top. You're like,
yeah.
what's going on here? You've had like
Yeah.
20 of those and
I don't know
you're
how he does it. I just like look at him. I'm like, I would be in the hospital right now if I ate that.
yeah. Yeah. I don't get people like hot stuff. Like I don't mind a little kick, little spice in
Yeah.
like some of my
Mhm.
food, but there's some people who hottest of the hot chili
Yeah.
pepper or whatever, I don't know, whatever kind of ghost pepper or whatever you want,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they just love it. And I don't know. I don't like it when my mouth is on fire. I feel like I can't enjoy the
Mhm.
food. I'm too
Yeah,
busy like
I'm like rushing to put down ranch and I'm like, why am I eating this if I'm literally eating more ranch than the wing? I don't,
yeah, if you have to drown your wing in ranch and like try to chug a
yeah.
glass of water, you're
Yeah.
not even enjoying it.
Exactly. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, for all those who are out there who like spicy wings, like, go you, I guess. More power to
Yeah.
you because we can't do it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Brenna, thanks for hopping on the podcast. Enjoyed chatting about your volleyball and some other random stuff. So good luck with your season next year. I know it's kind of a long ways away, but it's also like
Yeah.
summer's gonna be here soon. So
Yeah.
it's weird because we're like getting through winter, and I
Mhm.
feel
I feel
like
like these are flying by.
spring always kind of flies by, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's July, and then you're like getting ready.
Mhm. Yep.
But yeah, thanks for coming on the pod.
All right. Thanks for having me.